Well, for today, we are going to take a bit of a closer look at the Yamaha Moro Pro, so stick around. Well, hello again, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. Yep, we're going to take a dive in a little bit deeper on the Yamaha Moro bike here. And I guess first off, let's just go ahead and give you some specs. So check these out. For our motor, we're using the Yamaha. This is the PWX2. This is the previous generation. I have to tell you, I love it. Yes, it's 250 watts. 500 watt maximum. Yes, it's 80 Newton meters of torque, but when you couple that with the drivetrain that you're using, it's much different than what we're used to. We'll just leave it at that. The torque sensing, same thing. Very different than what we're used to. Of course, this is a class 1 bicycle, so the motor stops at 20 miles per hour. It has eco standard and high. There's a mountain bike mode, an extra power mode, and an automatic mode that we've covered in a previous video. The battery on this bike is a 500 watt hour and it weighs less than 7 pounds. Charging this up, it will take 1 hour to go from completely depleted to 80% and then another 3 hours to trickle charge in on the remaining 20%. It is a bolt in, it's not just a clip in. You have to remove the cover first, which is a bolt, and then you remove 2 bolts from the battery itself or from the battery holder, and then you can go ahead and remove the battery. The weight on the bike is right at 53 pounds. We will be going with tubeless tires, so we're going to probably shave that down to about 51.5 pounds with a few other changes we're going to make. I'm going to try to get it down to the 50-pound mark. The frame, of course, is a Yamaha built frame. It is their twin dual frame and with a tapered head tube, which means you can change the forks out to a different set of forks if you wanted. The linkage is all Yamahas, and they do know what they're doing with their linkage. I've been really impressed with the solidness feel of this frame. I am extremely impressed with that. The fork is the RockShox Yari RC Boost, and it has 160 millimeters of travel on it. It is, of course, a tapered steering head. The back shock is going to be the RockShox Super Deluxe Select Plus, and it has 150 millimeters of travel on it. And when you combine it with the linkage that is on the Yamaha frame, it does give... I don't think I've had a better ride on an e-bike as far as the rear suspension. I have ridden some pretty high caliper e-bikes as well. Our handlebars are 35 millimeter. We're not worried about any kind of bend in an accident or anything like that. They are 780 millimeters wide and they have a 30 millimeter rise to them. The seat post is a 30.9 dropper post. The medium size that I'm riding here has 125 millimeters of travel. The seat itself is a Yamaha seat, and I have to tell you, for such a small seat, I am loving it. I have zero plans of ever changing this seat out. We've been on some off-road rides that were over 25 miles and zero issues with this seat, so we're liking that. The drive system on this is the Shimano XT 11-speed, and that's what the shifter is. The derailleur is the XT long cage, and I have to tell you, it is one of the smoothest shifting bikes that I have ridden. Very impressed with it. The rear cassette is an 1146 Shimano XT, and that gives me plenty of range for the type of riding that I happen to be doing. We could probably use a 50 mil or a 50 tooth on the back if we were doing a lot of very steep climbs to do downhill, but I'm doing more cross country on this. The chain ring on this is a 36 tooth. It has a 104 millimeter BCD on it, so it is very replaceable, very customizable to whatever type we want to get. The brakes are the Magura MT30s front and rear. They are 4-piston brakes, 203 millimeter rotors, and one finger is all that is needed to control these brakes at any type of speed. Very, very impressed with the brakes. Rims front and back are 27.5, and they are tubeless ready. They've already been taped. They're 46 millimeters wide. There are 2.8 tires on this bike right now. That will be changed out with the 27.5 by 2.6 tubeless. We're going to run Maxxis tires on it, and we'll be going tubeless when we change out the tires. Now, I am hearing some rumors that Yamaha is discontinuing their e-bikes, but we know Yamaha is a major corporation, and so they will still be able to be serviced. I believe this bike in the 07 is no longer available. I think they still have some of the 05s, which is going to be a comparable spec to this bike right here. Some things are spec'd up a little bit, some things are not spec'd quite as well, but they're still running a major sale on that. And I'm not sure that they're leaving the market of e-bikes, but that was a rumor that I heard, and I feel it is very important that I share that with you guys as well. I'm not worried about it one way or the other. I have a fabulous bike that can be serviced with no problems if it were to need to be, and we're ready to go ride, and we're ready to go to some competitions with it. So let's get back out there and see how it's riding. All right, so that's the specs on the bike. So what's the bike like riding? Well, I have to tell you, let's see. Oh. We got to play here. Yeah, if you're wanting to run these kind of things here, man, this thing is great for that type of riding. I just had to throw that in there. But let's talk a little bit more about it. As we were going down through there, the only thing that you could hear was a stick jumping up and bumping onto the frame. There was no flexing around on the frame, no flexing around on the forks or anything like that. Everything was dead solid, and I attribute a lot of that to the Yamaha using a split frame right here. This is solid frame on both sides. Your battery is cradled in between and your shock is cradled in between. Number one, it makes that area very solid where you don't get no unwanted flex there. The flex is in other areas where they're more productive. It also centralizes everything a little bit more. You don't have this shock coming way up into here. The battery is back over top the center. And Yamaha's done a lot with centralizing mass with all of their two-wheeled vehicles, so they have some pretty good experience in that. But that's the very first thing that I notice, is it's very confidence-inspiring, because it just feels like you're riding on some quality. There's no bumping around underneath of you. Going across rock gardens, I'll see if I can throw a few shots. I think I maybe had my camera going on some of them. So hopefully we'll get a few shots of some rock gardens in there. The brakes on this, the 4-piston brakes, man, you stop on a dime on that. The motor itself, we'll see if we can find some clips here. Coming up some more technical areas. I don't know if I have my camera running on them or not, but I wasn't sure about getting used to this, the way that this power just comes on. I mean, like instantly. If I'm just sitting here with my foot on this thing is wanting to go. You know, just a little bit, Wasn't sure how well I was going to get used to that, but in a technical climb, I have to tell you, that is great things to have. That's a great thing to have. So I'm really liking the motor. Range, I'm getting plenty of range for my off-road stuff on this. Yeah, I haven't done nothing with it. I dropped the phone mount on it, I put that little fender on it, and I had to pump up the shock sag a little bit because they had it set for greenways, I think, is what they thought I was going to do with it. So we set that at 30%. And yeah. Hello, puppy. How are you doing? How you doing? Y'all have a blessed day. We set the shock sag at 30%. They had it set at more like 40%, which was way too soft. It would have been fine for out on greenways, but that's it. Fork sag, surprisingly, was pretty good. So that's all we've done with it. We haven't even changed the seat or even moved the seat. I like it just the way it is, and I have no problems with it. And we can put 20, 25 miles off-road on it and don't even feel the seat. Don't even feel the seat. So, yeah. So who's the bike for? Well, it's for me or somebody like me. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you're looking to up your mountain biking or your biking, this would be a fabulous place to start it at. It's not the highest end e-mountain bike out there, but it's much higher end than a lot of them that are out there. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, if you're looking to ride on the greenways, this would be a solid, ultra solid bike on greenways. I would change the tires on it to get a cheaper tire on there because you're going to wear these ones out really quick on pavement. And if you're sticking it to less than 30 miles, it would work for that with no real problems, unless you're doing nothing but, you know, motoring up all the time. Yeah, now who would it not be for? Well, it's not for you if you are wanting to throttle around everywhere. There's no throttle on this. It's not for you if you're looking to use the motor of the, if you're looking for the motor to carry you around when all you're doing is pedaling lightly, it's not going to be for you. You're going to use up way too much juice on this, and it's not going to be fast enough for you probably. If you're looking for the e-bike to assist you, it would be great. If you're looking for an e-bike for you to ride around, maybe this wouldn't be for you. There might be some better choices out there for you. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense, but it's my thoughts on it. I think that's going to wrap it up though. If you want to see some more of what we're doing, and like I said, do not forget, I will be on the starting line with this bike in 2025. You want to make sure you hit that subscribe and hit that bell so you see when them videos come out. And hey, give me a thumbs up if you like it, but I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up on that right there. So till next one, Southern E-Biking telling you, stay safe, God bless, and keep the wheels rolling. Once again, we're out.